I've been running hard, got the run around. Felt sorry for myself, been down and out. Spend more time hurting, but I don't like that person. Ain't no doubt life winds and curves, but I'm figuring out if you're stuck in the dirt, you can't see the clouds. So starting now, I'm happy to be here, wouldn't change a thing. I'm happy to be here, whatever it brings. Ain't worried about what's missing, I'm too busy counting blessings. 'Cause I know the sky clears after a storm. Fish still bite and the sun's still warm. So I'll leave my problems in the rearview mirror. I'm happy to be here. All right, I want you to look at somebody right beside of you. I want you to smile at them real big and say, "You're looking awful purty tonight." It feels like today was made for me and all my friends and family. How could I not? Well, thank God for what I got. I'm happy to be here, wouldn't change a thing. I'm happy to be here, whatever it brings. Ain't worried about what's missing, I'm too busy counting blessings. 'Cause I know the sky clears after a storm. Fish still bite and the sun's still warm. So I'll leave my problems in the rearview mirror. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. Happy to be here singing this song. If you're happy to be here, come and sing along. I'm happy to be here, wouldn't change a thing. I'm happy to be here, whatever it brings. Ain't worried about what's missing, I'm too busy counting blessings. 'Cause I know the sky clears after a storm. Fish still bite and the sun's still warm. So I'll leave my problems in the rearview mirror and keep rolling on until they disappear. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. All right, now I want you to look at somebody on the other side of you. I want you to smile at them. I want you to give them the biggest smile you've ever given anybody in your life and say, "I'm so glad you got to see me today." All right, how's everybody doing? All right, awesome. It is an honor and a privilege to be back here in my hometown of Troutman, North Carolina, and so excited to be here with you guys tonight. And I hope that something I sing or something I say will put a smile on your face and encourage you just a little bit. For those of you who don't know me, of course, my name is Shellem Cline, originally from Troutman, grew up here in Troutman, and now live in Hickory and travel all across the country in the world of Christian and positive country, as well as family-friendly comedy. And so we get to travel all across the country. And last month, for the month of August, we actually had the #1 song in the country. You guys want to hear that? Well, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I'm going to make you wait, all right? That's all there is to it. But we'll get to that song here in just a little bit and share that with you. This next song, though, all the songs I'm doing tonight is on my brand new album. I've got my brand new album just released a couple months up here. And, of course, if you're interested in that, I can guarantee you it's a whole lot cheaper to take that home than it is to take me home, because I eat a lot, I can tell you that. But needless to say, it is an honor and a privilege to be here, and I hope that something I say or sing will put a smile on your face here this evening. This next song I'm going to do for you, I've got 3 little munchkins at the house. I've got a little girl that's about to turn 7 next week. I've got one that's going to be that just turned 6 back in July, and another one that's turning 5 in December, and all 3 of them are girls. Y'all know what that means, all right? I have invested stock in Valium, I'll put it that way, all right? So needless to say, my youngest little munchkin, her name's Lena, and she came up to me one day and she said, "Daddy, I'm going to need you to write me a song because you write for everybody else. It's my turn." And we call her Little Dolly because she's got the little curls. She's the blonde-headed curly girl that looks like Dolly Parton at her age, all right? And she tells everybody that's her name. It's not Lena, it's Little Dolly. She's Little Dolly. And so I told her, I said, "All right," I said, "you tell me what you want me to write." I said, "You give me a title and I'll write it for you." And she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yep." She said, "Daddy, I want you to write me a song called Pineapples and Flamingos." Now, folks, I've written a lot of songs in my day, from the gospel music world all the way over to country music. So I've had a wide variety, but I've never had anything like Pineapples and Flamingos ask of me, all right? So I sit down while I was in Nashville. I wrote this song, and I called her up, and I sung it to her. And I said, baby girl, what do you think? Thinking she was all excited. And she said, Daddy, you've written songs better than that. That was bad. You're going to have to redo that one. Needless to say, it only took me 6 times to write this song till it was perfect for her. And so now we put it on the album, and everywhere she goes, she tells everybody that she is the Pineapple and Flamingo girl, all right? So I'm going to share this little tune with you now. Like I said, it's Lena or Little Dolly's song, I guess, called Pineapples and Flamingos. Looking up in the rear view, she's smiling back in her car seat. Daddy, will you open the sunroof so the sun can shine on me? To her, life's always been a breeze, 'cause she's pineapples and flamingos, wonders where the moon goes, singing into that hairbrush microphone at the top of her lungs. She was born with a little bit of don't care, a whole lot of curly blonde hair. She's a bright green-eyed little diva, always on the run. And as she grows, I hope she's happy as pineapples and flamingos. Washing dishes in her own kitchen, turning Play-Doh into ice cream. She uses my arm as a pillow while watching Blippi on TV. Oh, how I wish the time would freeze, 'cause she's pineapples and flamingos, wonders where the moon goes, singing into that hairbrush microphone at the top of her lungs. But she was born with a little bit of don't care, a whole lot of curly blonde hair. She's a bright green-eyed little diva, always on the run. And as she grows, I hope she's happy as pineapples and flamingos. Now, the first time I sung this song out in public, I had Lena standing right beside of me. And I started dancing at this very part of the song. And she grabbed my arm and she said, Daddy, you are embarrassing me. You need to stop. But she's not here tonight, so guess what? Oh, 'cause she's pineapples and flamingos, wonders where the moon goes, singing into that hairbrush microphone at the top of her lungs. She was born with a little bit of don't care, a whole lot of curly blonde hair. She's a bright green-eyed little diva, always on the run. She's pineapples and flamingos, wonders where the moon goes, singing into that hairbrush microphone at the top of her lungs. She was born with a little bit of don't care, a whole lot of curly blonde hair. She's a bright green-eyed little diva, always on the run. And as she grows, I hope she's happy as pineapples and flamingos. And as she grows, I hope she's happy as pineapples and flamingos. All right. Now let me ask y'all a question real quickly. How many of y'all believe it's all right to smile a little bit? Anybody like to smile? I love smiling. And I was doing a show one time, and I finished it up, and this sweet little lady came up to me, and she was all mad, and she said, I thought you were a country artist. And I said, well, I'm in the world of Christian and positive country. She said, oh, no. She said, you still got country in your name, which means you classify as a country artist. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, whoever told you that lied to you. And I said, well, ain't that just sweet? And I said, well, why would you say that? She said, because you don't have a good country love song. Well, I wrote this woman a song called I Love You More Than Ice Cream. And I sung that to her about 3 months later when I saw her again. And she didn't like it. And she told me that was the craziest love song she'd ever heard in her life. And so I grabbed her by the hand and I sung her a different love song. And I'd like to share that special love song with y'all tonight. How many of you husbands and wives? Do we have any husbands and wives here? All right, I need all you husbands. I need you to reach over and grab your wife by the hand. Now look, if your wife ain't standing beside you, don't grab her hand. I'm not held responsible for any fights tonight, all right? It's that simple. And I want you to grab her by the hand. I want you to smile at her real big, because this is going to be your love song for the night. All right, here we go. Ready? You know I really love you, and you know my love is so true. And darling, if I was a rich man, let me tell you what I'd do. You see, I'd buy you a Cadillac and a new Mercedes too. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. Yes, I'd buy you that Cadillac and a new Mustang too. Well, I'd build you a mansion up on that mountaintop if my nose was running money. But honey, it's not. Little lady didn't like me no more. I was in the great state of Ohio, and I've not been invited to sing in Ohio since that night. Coincidence? I don't think so. There you go. All right, I'm going to share this song with you real quickly. This is actually a song that's on the brand new album too. Probably one of my favorites off of this new album, called A Piece of Wood. And I want you really to listen to the story. It's really a great song in the world of Christian country, and we'll actually be going to national radio here in just a few weeks actually as well. So I want to share this little tune with you. It's called A Piece of Wood. Listen to the words of this song as I share it. Little boy, 8 years old, with a bat in his hand, said, I'm gonna hit that ball as far as I can. They all laughed, said, there's no way you'll ever clear the stands. But when the ball sailed over the fence, he made them all his friends. And it was his destiny, how it all came to be. Held his head up high when no one understood. Some called him a dreamer, never born to be a leader. But funny how little faith can do a whole lot of good. 'Cause he did what people said he never could with that piece of wood. Callous fingers, smoky bars, a hand-me-down flat-top guitar, left his hometown bound to be a star. They said, paying dues won't pay the bills, and you'll never get that far. But now he plays for 20,000 strong, pouring out his heart. And it was his destiny, how it all came to be. Held his head up high when no one understood. Some called him a dreamer, never born to be a leader. But funny how little faith can do a whole lot of good. 'Cause he did what people said he never could with that piece of wood. That piece of wood. Some called him a liar when he said, follow me. I'm the way to the Father, if you just believe. With a crown of thorns they nailed the King to that rugged tree. There he bled for our sins and died for you and me. And it was his destiny, how it all came to be. Held his head up high when no one understood. Some called him a dreamer, never born to be a leader. But funny how little faith can do a whole lot of good. 'Cause he did what people said he never could with that piece of wood. All right, this next song I'm going to share with you guys is the longest song in the history of the United States. Some of y'all look scared to death already. Now, I was sitting at Charlotte Douglas International Airport and about to get on a plane, and I was flying flying up to Ohio again. Go figure, everything happens when you're going to Ohio. That's what it is, right? And I was sitting there, and as I'm waiting to get on the plane, and this little lady comes up, and she sits right beside of me, and she smiles real big, and she said, "Do you mind if I sit beside you?" I said, "Well, darling, you already are, so I guess you're perfectly fine." And she started laughing. We had a good little conversation, and as we started to board the plane, she looked at me and she said, "Can I give you one little piece of motherly advice that'll make your life complete?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "What's that?" She said, "Even on the worst day of your life, the good always outweighs the bad." And I looked at her, I was like, "You know, that's pretty smart." She said, "I know." So needless to say, as she was getting on the plane, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, that sounds like a good little song. I might have to write that. So I get on the plane, I start thinking of all these things, get in my seat there, and I get my iPad out so I could start writing, because I knew this would be a great little tune. And I started thinking about some good things that are in our life, like chicken pot pie. And I decided I was going to write me a song about chicken pot pie. And I sat down, I started this song in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I ended it by the time we got to Columbus, Ohio. So that's why it's the longest song in the history of the United States. Some of y'all get that in about an hour. All right, there you go. But I'm going to share this little tune with you. It's called Good Things. I wake up, put my feet on the floor, I get dressed and I walk out the door. Another 9 to 5, so the bills that I can pay. I'm running late for that meeting at work. Coffee maker's not brewing and my toast is burnt. I find myself with a frown as I complain. The hustle and the bustle is all I ever see. And I forget to thank God for all the good things, like when I hug my kids, eat chicken pot pie, watch my fluffy pictures float through the sky, cast a line in the water, waiting for that bite. When I'm through in the pigskin in my backyard, truck bed sleeping underneath the stars, or waking up to my love in the morning light. Well, I guess at the end of the day, I must say that my bad is outnumbered by the good things. At Walmart, I lock my keys in the car, call my wife, but her car won't start. 95 degrees and I'm stuck in the parking lot. I'm ill as a hornet when my dad comes to rescue me. And he said, "Son, don't forget to thank God for all the good things, like when you hug your kids, eat chicken pot pie, watch my fluffy pictures float through the sky, cast a line in the water, waiting for that bite. When I'm through in the pigskin in my backyard, truck bed sleeping underneath the stars, waking up to your love in the morning light. You
See, son, at the end of the day, you've got to say that your bad is outnumbered by the good things. Back at home, everyone's fast asleep. So I bow my head and thank the good Lord for all the good things. Like when I hug my kids, eat chicken pot pie, watch my fluffy pictures float through the sky, cast a line in the water, waiting for that bite. When I'm through in the pigskin in my backyard, truck bed sleeping underneath the stars, or waking up to my love in the morning light. Well, I guess at the end of the day I must say, yeah, I guess at the end of the day I get to say that my bad is outnumbered by the good things. Oh, I thank God for the good things.
All right, I know I told you guys I was going to do the songs off my new album tonight, but can I go back and reminisce to my very first #1 song? Is that all right? Can we go back and do it where it all started from? Can we do that? If I can remember the words? If not, y'all just smile and say, bless your heart, and we'll call it even. Does that work? All right, yeah. You know, might as well, since I'm home, I might as well go back to where it all started. This was my very first #1 song back in 2016 in the world of Christian and positive country. They actually do have their own chart based out of Nashville, so a lot of radio stations across the country, and it is a spin-based chart. So this was the very first #1 song, and also that same year won a Diamond Award for Song and Video of the Year. All right? So I want to share this little tune with you, reminiscing, going back to the very beginning right here. It's called Blue Jeans and Biscuits. Some of y'all are like, what in the world? Y'all get it in a minute. Hang on with me, all right?
Record man called me up and he told me I could sing. So I packed my bags and headed out to Nashville, Tennessee. But it only took a couple days to see this is not where I belong. So when my best friend Michael called me, I told him I wanted to come home and give me blue jeans and biscuits with gravy on the side, and give me that old church house where the steeples raised real high, and give me all the family gatherings and some of Mama's sweet tea. Or give me blue jeans and biscuits, 'cause that's how God made me. How I want to go back to that house there on the farm. Cozy Saturday morning with my wife in my arms. I really miss those summer nights when we would dance out in the rain. 'Cause all I hear in this city is cussing cars and planes. So give me blue jeans and biscuits with gravy on the side, and give me that old church house where the steeples raised real high, and give me all the family gatherings and some of Mama's sweet tea. Or give me blue jeans and biscuits, 'cause that's how God made me. You can try to make me city-fied, except it's socially. But friend, there ain't no way that you can take the country out of me. So give me blue jeans and biscuits with gravy on the side. And give me that old church house where the steeple's raised real high. And give me all the family gatherings and some of Mama's sweet tea. Or give me blue jeans and biscuits. Or you can keep your collard greens. Give me all the family gatherings and some of Mama's sweet tea. And give me blue jeans and biscuits, 'cause that's how God made me. Well, that's how God made me.
All right. I'm going to do another song here for you. This is actually the title track of the album. I had a little fun writing this song when we were out in Nashville, and I'm going to share this with you. Title track for our tour and our album for this year is called Real Life. So I'm going to share with you the title track with that now. Hope you guys enjoy this one.
Shout out to the single dads, the Monday morning tears. Ain't seen the kids in 2 weeks, but it feels like 2 years. High five to the EMT working 24-hour shifts. It ain't always roses, but it is what it is. Because it's a long work days and bills to pay. A heartbreak low and a heartbeat high. We're all at the same big party, but nobody makes it out alive. Lucky ones realize pretty good all we got is time. Ain't that a blessing? But sometimes it's messy. Hey, ain't that real life? Shout out to the working folk working 60-hour weeks, doing everything they can just to feed the family. And high five to the fighting kind, fighting to survive. They're all just living in one battle at a time. Because it's a long work days and bills to pay. A heartbreak lows and a heartbeat highs. We're all in the same big party, but nobody makes it out alive. Lucky ones realize pretty young that all we got is time. Ain't that a blessing? Sometimes it's messy, but ain't that real life? Ain't that real life? Oh, real life. It's long work days and bills to pay. A heartbreak low and a heartbeat high. We're all in the same big party, but nobody makes it out alive. But lucky ones realize pretty young that all we got is time. Ain't that a blessing? Sometimes it's messy, but ain't that real life? Ain't that real life? That's real life.
Anybody like some bluegrass? Well, unfortunately, the bluegrass band couldn't make it tonight. But that's all right. That's why we got our band in the box. How about that? We're going to do a little bluegrass tune for you. This was the #1 song for me back in 2020. It's called A Glass Half Full.
Soaking up the sunshine, saving for a rainy day. In every hairpin turn, I can hear my mama pray. I'm reeling in the one on the line. not worry about the one that got away. 'Cause I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. 'Cause every tunnel still leads to a light. No, I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. Thanking God for the best and worst of times. I'm living this glass half. Yeah, I'm living this glass half full life. You'll find me on the good side of every bad news wave. It ain't no accident, it's how the potter made the clay. I always see a mud puddle, that's right, when others see a lake. 'Cause I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. 'Cause every tunnel still leads to a light. No, I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. Thanking God for the best and worst of times. I'm living this glass half. Yeah, I'm living this glass half full life. And I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. 'Cause every tunnel still leads to a light. No, I ain't gonna get everything right, but I'm gonna make this a real good ride. Thanking God for the best and worst of times. I'm living this glass half. Yeah, I'm living this glass half full life.
All right. Are y'all ready for that #1 song now? Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm going to sing this for you. It was the #1 song last month. It's called Does Heaven Have a Dirt Road? Saturday morning, but you came close. 6 a.m. Get set, ready to go. Crawling up in the front seat, Daddy at the wheel. Heading out to cast a line outside Murray's Mill. 8 years old and a tear rolling down his cheek. His pawpaw was sitting shotgun just last week. Does heaven have a dirt road where we can walk with a cane pole? Can we throw out rocks and kick up dust, hop in the puddles and play in the mud, and race as far as we can in our bare feet? Past the light to the crystal sea. I know the Bible says the streets are made of gold. But tell me, Daddy, do you think, does heaven have a dirt road? Rainy Sunday afternoon, a long black Cadillac, small white Baptist church atop of Piney's Flat. Gathered round a 6-foot hole, 36 inches wide. Sitting on his grandma's lap with tears in both their eyes. For the rest of his days he'll live that memory of
walking that back road down to Johnson's Creek. Does heaven have a dirt road where we can walk with a cane pole? Can we throw out rocks and kick up dust, hop in the puddles and play in the mud? Race as far as we can in our bare feet, and cast a line into the crystal sea. I know the Bible says the streets are made of gold, but tell me, Daddy, do you think does heaven have a dirt road? 2 days later, he comes running down the stairs. I know where Pawpaw is, and he's waiting for me there. Does heaven have a dirt road where we can walk with a cane pole? Can we throw out rocks and kick up dust, hop in the puddles and play in the mud? Race as far as we can in our bare feet, cast a line into the crystal sea. I know the Bible says the streets are made of gold, and Paul says it's the truth, heaven has a dirt road. Heaven has a dirt road.
All right, you guys had fun tonight? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to let you guys ask some questions now. She said we could do a Q&A type of thing. So we're going to let you ask some questions, and if I don't know the answer, you are awesome. I want to be just like you when I grow up. I swallowed wrong a while ago, and I felt it coming. I was like, I'm about to sound like a dying cow in a hailstorm. Put it that way. All right, so there we go. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Yes, ma'am. Do what now? I do have 3 little munchkins, 3 little girls. I've got a 7-year-old, well, she'll be 7 next week. One that just turned 6 on July 4th, and a 5-year-old. She'll be 5 in December. So, yes, I have 3 little munchkins, and they are all wild children, put it that way. Yes. Yes, sir. I've actually had a lot of other songs recorded. We do a lot in the world of gospel music, from country gospel to southern gospel. We've even got a couple contemporary Christian songs that are on hold right now. And then, of course, all the way up to country music. A lot of folks in Christian country. Last year alone, I had 47 songs that I wrote, not counting mine, that were cut by other artists. And so far this year, we're at like 33, I think is where we're at right now. So, yeah, we do a lot of pitch into a lot of... I'm actually signed with Swing and Bridge Music Publishing. And, of course, signed with Positive Country Records out of Nashville, both those out of Nashville. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of work. You never know what you're going to get. People call you all the time saying, hey, I need you to write me a song, and then they'll give you some off-the-wall subject. And I believe probably the coolest song I've ever written that never went anywhere was called The Irish Watermelon. Stupidest song you'll ever hear. That's probably why it never went anywhere, obviously. Yes, ma'am. Any famous people? Define famous. We do I do a lot for a lot of up-and-coming artists right now. We actually can't really go into it for contractual reasons. That's a big word for a country boy, right? But I do actually have a couple bigger artists, for lack of better words, have a couple songs on hold that you may be hearing in 2023. Anybody else? Oh, y'all got to ask me something cool now. There you go. I got to be in Nashville every 6 weeks. Yeah, I spend a week in Nashville every 6 weeks. And I start at 9 a.m. that morning, and I'm done at 9 p.m. It's 12-hour days, 5 days a week, doing nothing but songwriting.
Yeah, yeah. So you're looking at usually about three sessions a day with maybe a 30-minute lunch break. Is what you get. Yeah, it's pretty intense. A lot of people don't understand the concept of writing. A lot of people are like, oh, okay, you just grab a piece of paper and write some stuff down and you're done. Yeah, not that easy. I wish. That'd been great. But on average, a song usually takes, of all the songs I've written, on average, from North Carolina to Ohio. No, I'm just kidding. But on average, you're looking at about 3 hours, and that's just for like one take of a song, trying to get it done. There's actually a song I'm working on with a buddy of mine right now that we have literally had about 23 sessions on, and it's still not, we haven't got it just perfect. So when it comes to songwriting, I'm like that perfectionist guy to where it's like, I'll sing the song like 800 times, and like there have been times, I kid you not, even on this album, what song was it? Hang on. Yeah, the song Little Black Book on this album. Everything was done, demo was done. I went into the studio, and when I was recording the song, I stopped and rewrote the second verse. Yeah, while I was recording the song. Like, I didn't like how it felt. I was like, start it from the top. When they got to the second, I just didn't even like think. I just sung it off the top of my head, and that's what's on there. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting how those work, for sure. Yes, ma'am. I actually travel about 130 dates a year is what my actual shows are. That's anything from churches on like Sunday morning, Sunday night. I do a lot of churches there. I do a lot of senior adult groups like at senior centers, auction houses, campgrounds, theaters, things like that. I actually did in Mooresville, there's a general store. I actually did a performance on a Saturday morning at a general store. So that was pretty cool. You know, it's just a lot of cool things because with my genre, it's not going to be like a 50,000 seat stadium tour type deal, which I'm okay with, completely okay with. But my thing is more of I would say my average crowd would be somewhere between 50 and 300 is kind of my average. And that way, you know, it's more of an intimate setting. That's what I like because I can really interact with the audience. Instead of you just being a number, you're like a face that I can perform with, you know. And there's times that there's been some events. I did a big senior center, it had like 400 people there one time, and I literally picked 3 or 4 people out of the audience, brought them up on stage, and they gave me a word, and I wrote them a song while standing up on stage. So you know, it's more. When I go and sing, I don't want you to be like, oh, okay, I went to a concert. No, I want you to have an experience. If you see what I'm saying. Yes, ma'am. About 13 minutes after I was born. Yeah. So here's a funny story, all right? Yeah. I started when I was just, the answer to that question is 3 years old, okay? My pawpaw, who's here tonight, put me up on, that we were at Fern Hill Baptist Church in Troutman, right? And he put me up on the pulpit, and I sang my first song with him at 3 years old. All right, but when I was born, the day I was born, our pastor came to see him. And as he was leaving, he prayed. And as soon as he said, amen, I grunted. And he made the statement, he will either be a singer or a preacher. Here I am, you know. So that's been kind of the running joke was, when did you start singing? When I came out of the womb. That's the answer, yeah. Oh, goodness. I kind of patterned my style, because my style, if you notice, is like that 90s country type style. I patterned my style off of folks like Aaron Tippin, Tracy Lawrence, modern day Justin Moore, Cody Johnson. Those guys are all great. I know those guys real well. But that's kind of, I guess, who I would say would be my biggest influences. Now, if you ask my mom, hands down, it's Aaron Tippin, because she thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. And, and I'll tell you this story when you say that. My little brother, he was here earlier. He is a fireman, so he had to work the ball game tonight. But my little brother and I were like 13 years apart, okay? And 11, 13, same difference. My little brother and I have this competition every year to who could be mom's favorite kid, all right? So I was bound and determined. Obviously, I'm like 10-0, right? Right now, everything's going great. Well, he thought he was going to get me on a good one. So for my mom's birthday, I had Aaron Tippin FaceTime her and sing happy birthday to her. Yeah, I've won till Jesus comes back. That's all there is to it. There's no way he's going to win anymore. So, yeah, win-win. There you go. Yes, ma'am. When I started writing, the first time I ever wrote a song was when I was 12 years old. And I actually, funny story, last year had a gospel artist pick up that song and record the very first song I ever wrote. And when I heard that on radio, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the most horrible songwriting I've ever heard in my life. Like, I go back, I was actually at the house the other day, and I've got a book where, because, that was back old school where I wrote everything out. Now everything's on a computer, right? And I was going back, and I was looking at some of them, and I told my wife the other day, I was like, I was bad. Like, it's bad. Like, I mean, just really bad writing. And she's like, why don't you take some of those songs and rearrange them? I was like, you can't. They're just that bad, So it's kind of funny how from like 12 to I'm 34 now, that's what, 22 years, something like that? Yeah, wow, I'm getting old. Yeah, so in 22 years, I've seen a lot of different changes, and it's funny. My record label laughed at me the other day. It's like, you should go back and do an old album of all your songs. I was like, yeah, and not sell a one of them. Exactly right, not gonna happen. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am. No. No, okay, so the Irish Watermelon song, what a story. All right, so we were in Nashville, and I was outside our publishing office. This is it was pre-COVID, so about 2018, 2019. And I was outside the publishing office, and I was talking to another artist that is a mainstream country artist. We were chit-chatting, and this girl come up, her and I guess was her boyfriend, fiance, something, I don't know. And they were in Americana music. And they stopped and they looked at me and they said, we know who y'all are. And I was like, okay, hey, what's up? She's like, I need you to write us a song. Here's our card. We need a radio single. And I was like, okay. I said, is there something you're specific? She's like, yes, I need a song about an Irish watermelon. I just looked at her and I'm like, do what? And she was serious. Now, I don't know. But we went in there and it would start out as a joke. I'm like, hey guys, I got a perfect song idea called the Irish Watermelon. Yeah, it was the dumbest thing. They took it and ran with it, never recorded it. They broke up before they even got to the studio, so spent all that time for nothing. But it was a very interesting song. I don't remember all the words to it. But I do remember it's called the Irish Watermelon, and the chorus said, I never want to be squished like an Irish watermelon. I do remember that line in there. Made no sense whatsoever. It was dumb, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was fun. It was a fun writing session that made no sense whatsoever. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I wish it worked that way. No, because see, it's a whole royalty mechanicals thing. So basically, you don't get paid until they actually record it, and so. Yeah, that stinks. So now I've got, if anybody ever wants to do an album called an Irish Watermelon, hit me up. I got your song. Lisa Crates, that's for you. I want you to write, you're going to record a song called the Irish Watermelon. And the music video, you can shoot your own music video, and I want you to dress up like watermelons with an Irish top hat, okay? That's it. I like it. I think it. Or we'll call Rocky. Rocky would look at me and be like, Shellem, stop. You're embarrassing me. That's what he would say. There you go. Anybody else? Oh, that was easy. I was scared to death. I thought you were going to ask me something like hard. Like what my middle name is, because I still don't know that. I'm just kidding. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Sold.
Thank you so much, Shellem. That was incredible. And we are honored that you were performing tonight for our 1-year anniversary. So thank you very much. And anyone interested, he does have his CDs and shirts here.
Okay, real quickly, one more thing. How many of y'all have Facebook or Instagram? All right, if you do, will you do me a favor? Will you go follow Shellem Cline Music so it looks like I have friends? Okay, even if you don't like me, pretend. It's the nice thing to do, okay? And we do have the CDs and the T-shirts over here. CDs are 20, T-shirts are 20, or you can do a CD and a T-shirt for 30. That's the Shell Mart special. It's better than Walmart. Why? Because Walmart don't sell them.
Thank you so much. And thank you again to Lake Norman Mooresville Exchange Club for hosting this evening. And thank you all for coming. Please come back. We have another performance October 20th. Bing Futch will be here from Florida. He's up here. He plays for the Balloon Festival every year. And he's going to make a stop over here and play for Music Speaks. So I hope you'll come back. Thank you all for coming. Please be safe going home. And anyone that wants to come up, is it okay if they get pictures with you? Okay. All right. Thank you all.